Rocket Pat here. All right, guys, there you go, boys. We got some suspension up underneath this bad boy. If you don't know what I decided I'm going to call this bad boy, that's Rusty Moonshine. And yeah, Rusty Moonshine, he likes to run some shine during the week and get out there on the roundy round track on the weekends. All right, guys, let's see what we got done. Sorry I didn't film the installation of the front suspension, but we've got all of it in place. She will sit on her, well, I keep calling her, but it's really a he. He will sit on his wheels. Now, there's no weight in this thing, so that control arm will be straight across once I get an engine and transmission and radiator and all that kind of good stuff put in it. I got the rear end. One of the hiccups I ran into was I was assuming that this thing was a 5 on 4 3/4, but I guess since it's a Ford, they sent me 5 on 4 1/2, and fortunately I had this set of dual bolt pattern wheels, so I had to run this morning and get some used tires and pop on this thing so I could roll it. I'm gonna call the company that I bought this from. They do sell Chevrolet rotors for this. I'm gonna put Chevrolet wheels on this thing. Even though I'm gonna plan on running a Ford engine in this, not 100% sure if I'm gonna be able to because of the way this steering rack is right here. It seems a little high to me, but maybe they did that to get the length of the tie rods correct, to go with the geometry of our lower control arm. See, these have to be running parallel to each other so that when it goes up and down, you get no bump steer, okay? If you got one longer and shorter and blah, 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 you're gonna have a whole lot of bump steer crazy crap going on there. So anyway, we got that in there. Today, one of the things I did was I welded myself a piece of angle iron on there so it's flat to my lift so I can lift this thing and it be on the lift properly without it janking around. This is probably the first time this thing has had a set of wheels and suspension up underneath it. I'm gonna guess, and I'm guessing here only, but by the looks of this thing, I'm gonna say it's probably been about 50 years. The whole time I've been alive, this thing's probably not had any wheels, probably hasn't rolled on its own in that amount of time. This frame is a repop. It is not the original frame. I bought this car for $500. It had this frame underneath it. I'm happy that it had this frame underneath it. It's a good start. So what I did back here for this rear end was I just took a piece of plate steel and welded it up there to the frame and then came down here and just kind of gave it a few little tacks in place. It's not the best. We're not driving on this thing. This is just going to get so I can roll it around. And that's just literally what I'm doing here. I am literally just trying to get this where it rolls. When I brought this car over to this shop, it was on that cart, and let's just say it was beyond sketchy, okay? I mean, it was beyond sketchy, but what do y'all think? Y'all think that's a good fit right there for that $295? I'm telling you right now, that rear end fits perfect. I mean, just straight up ass perfect. So anyway, there we go. I'm gonna put y'all down over here for a second. I'm gonna drop this thing down and we're gonna roll it outside for the first time in probably 50 years. So y'all hang on and we're gonna check it out. Let's see what it looks like sitting on the ground, guys. Now that's a little high in the front, but remember, it ain't got any weight on it. So that's gonna affect a lot on the way this thing looks right now. Also, the front clip is not on the car properly. I have some trimming that's got to be done, and I'll show you what's up with that. We got to get her down. This lift goes a little slow. It's got an orifice in it down here at the bottom to keep it from dropping too fast. But it's going faster than it did the other day, because the other day it was chilly over here. Now I'm able to lift it up without it teeter-tottering, and that makes me feel a whole lot better too. Hole number 9. I don't know who painted that on there. this car was never a race car. Race cars don't have little spotlights and door handles, stuff like that. Hell, they ain't even got fenders. Alright guys, let's roll this bad boy outside. Y'all hang out right there. First time it's rolled, and no telling how many years. 2 thumbs up, rocking and a rolling. All right, let's go take a look at her out in the sun. But there you have it. Rocker Pat's 1939 Ford Coupe, sitting out on its own wheels, just like we need it. Now what I got to do over here is, in order for where I need to cut a loop or something through the inner fender wells so that it'll fit over the suspension that goes on the outside of the frame, so it's kind of in the way right now. That's why I'm not going to be able to get it down there. Also, I'm gonna have to pound that dent out before it'll fit around that tire. As you can see, big old dent. It's going to be in the way of that tire, so that's another thing I got to do. But yeah, I'm digging it. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Next time, stop on by. Now, hey, I gotta say this. For all the guys that are really super excited about this car, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is as far as I'm going on it at the moment. What's gonna happen is it's gonna go back into mothballs for a little while, and I'm gonna bring in the 54 to put the front end up underneath it next. I bought both these kits. And, you know, I'm going to say it like this. A car takes up a whole lot more room on the floor when it's disassembled. One of the reasons why I went ahead and assembled this was just to get rid of all those parts in the boxes that were in my way. So that's the reason why it's in here. Plus, we want to do a mock-up before we start doing the rest of the work that needs to be done on the frame and putting the floors and everything else in this thing. So we're probably a good 6 to 8 months till we come back to this thing. But you guys keep hanging in there, and we'll get back to it. Don't worry. I got plans for it. It's gonna happen. It's just a little of this and a little of that. I like to move around. I don't like working on the same thing day in and day out. Kind of one of the reasons why I like being a mechanic, because I get to work on different problems every day. And I don't really care to work on the same thing over and over and over and over. I kind of got burned out on that 47 truck because it was the only thing I was working on. So anyway, guys, y'all keep rocking and a rolling and a rolling and a rocking. And this 39 is a rolling on its own. Talk to y'all next time. Hello, Petey Doggy. What you doing, you scratching doggy?